About 66 million years ago, Earth looked completely different from the world we know today. Vast prehistoric forests stretched from the equator all the way toward the polar regions. In this ancient world, dinosaurs were the undisputed rulers of the land. A young dinosaur was beginning what seemed like a perfectly ordinary day of foraging. The herd calmly searched for fresh leaves and tender plants, following a rhythm shaped by millions of years of evolution. None of them realized that something unusual had already begun to appear in the sky. Between the clouds, a small, strange point of light was slowly becoming clearer with every passing hour. It was neither a star nor the moon, but a visitor from deep space. A gigantic asteroid, more than 10 kilometers wide, was hurtling toward Earth at incredible speed. On the scale of the universe it was just a rock, but for this planet, it was a catastrophe. As it plunged into the atmosphere, the asteroid burst into flames, carving a blazing trail across the sky. The energy it carried was greater than that of billions of modern nuclear explosions. From the valley below, its light shone brighter than any known star. Ancient birds and dinosaurs began to panic, driven by an instinct that something was terribly wrong. The young dinosaur tried to escape through the dense forest. Every step was a desperate attempt to outrun a danger it could not understand. Far away, the asteroid slammed into what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. In an instant, a colossal flash erupted, bright enough to overpower the sun. The impact gouged out a massive crater and sent a pillar of fire and vapor high into the atmosphere. Shockwaves, earthquakes and tsunamis raced outward across Earth's surface. In forests thousands of kilometers away, the air itself began to violently shake. An invisible wave slammed through, bending trees and tearing leaves and branches from their trunks. The young dinosaur was caught in the blast of scorching wind and choking dust, barely able to stay on its feet. It had no way of knowing that this was more than just a storm, it was the end of an era. Hours later, the land lay buried under smoke and ash. The once vibrant forests were reduced to burned patches and a heavy, unnatural silence. Ash fell like rain, slowly covering the ground, rivers and the bodies of animals that could not escape. The sky grew darker as the sun disappeared behind a thick, dusty veil. After the catastrophic impact, Earth entered one of the darkest chapters in its history. From space, the blue planet now appeared wrapped in a thick haze of dust, smoke and ash. Along the prehistoric coastlines, forests were still burning fiercely. Towering plumes of smoke rose into the sky, adding even more ash and dust to the atmosphere. Deep inside the forest, flames consumed trunks, branches and everything in their path. In these first hours, very few creatures could survive the intense heat. But as the fires began to fade, a more persistent threat appeared. The sun was hidden behind a thick veil of dust, turning daytime into a dim, endless twilight. With too little sunlight, plants could no longer photosynthesize as before. Whole stretches of forest withered and died, dragging the food chain down from its very roots. On the ground, ash blanketed the last remaining leaves. A once green world was now dressed in a cold, gray silence. Meanwhile, deep underground, a few tiny creatures still held on to life. Early mammal-like animals hid in burrows, sheltered from the heat, fires and most of the falling ash. They were small, needed little food, and could eat almost anything they found. Insects, seeds, even leftover carcasses. This flexibility allowed them to survive a time when many giants had already fallen. Some primitive birds, descendants of small dinosaurs, also managed to adapt. They could fly long distances, search for less damaged regions and make use of almost any remaining food source. In many places, the land was reduced to ash, broken trunks and silent, lifeless forests. The world of the dinosaurs was no longer what it once was, and it would never return to the way it was. Yet with time, the thick clouds of dust slowly began to thin. Sunlight gradually returned, faint at first, then growing stronger day by day. On top of the black ash, new green shoots began to push through. From the wreckage of disaster, life was once again trying to rise.